Where should I live in Venice, Florida?
In this video, we're going to show you some of our favorite areas and give you options depending on what you're looking for because everyone's a little different, and we're getting started right now.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the area, make sure to call, text, or email me. I am a local realtor here. My information will be in the description box below.
So I think one of the best places to start, because I think this gives the most amount of people an option because it is a little more affordable, would be South Venice, because some of the other areas are going to be a little bit more pricey. So South Venice, as you can imagine, sits south of Venice, and it's right down here.
South Venice is a great area for families, and if you're looking to be in Venice but maybe don't have the budget for being closer to the downtown area, South Venice, it's great. It is very close to the beach, and it's also very close to the downtown area. I would say within 15 minutes tops. Yeah, it's very close, so you don't have to be in the downtown area to experience all of, the beautiful downtown in Venice.
Yeah, they also have a cool perk. They have their own private beach ferry that takes you to your own private beach. It does cost a little bit of a fee a year. I think it's like $100 or something like that. It's not too bad, and you get passes for I think like 6 people that can come with you each time, so that's kind of cool. And then you're also not far from shopping at all. There's a lot of shopping in the south end of Venice on Tamiami Trail, off of the island. More of your like main big box stores are actually going to be in that area, so close to that. Further a little bit from the downtown, but not too far. The downtown's going to have more of your kind of quaint, local shops, restaurants, things like that.
We'll have a link to a video for South Venice so you can get a better idea of what South Venice looks like.
Yeah, we go really in depth in that.
Next one is Venice Island. And when most people talk about moving to Venice, what they think or what comes to mind is the island. But the island is a little more pricier. So if you have the budget for it, or if you're open to being like in a condo, that would put you in Venice Island. Condos are somewhat affordable, but they are going to be smaller and they are going to be more likely than not outdated. You are very close to the beach, within walking distance, I would say, to the beach. We've walked from the downtown to the beach before.
Yeah, plenty. And just in general, I think if you do want a condo, there's just going to be a lot more options for that on the island than the rest of Venice for sure. As you can see too here, this is the island, this whole area. And pretty much all your beaches outside of that South Venice beach are going to be accessed by getting onto the island. Again, any of these other areas in Venice, if you were to live on them, you're looking at a 15, maybe if you're really far on the northeast end, 20-minute max drive to get to a beach. But yeah, all the, like we mentioned before, quaint shops, restaurants, things like that are going to be on Venice Island for the most part. And
the high school.
And the high school.
It's on Venice Island, which I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and also we have a dog beach, so that's kind of cool and exciting. Casperson Beach, famous for the prehistoric shark teeth. And just overall, I think it's like a lot of people, when they think of Venice, they think of the island. The next area we love that I'm typing in right now, so it'll show up on the map, is Venice Gardens. And Venice Gardens we often describe as being somewhat in between South Venice, like stylistic and the things you would like about it wise, and maybe Venice Islands. Somewhere in between there as far as the a little bit bigger lots, a little bit older homes. South Venice does have a few newish homes sprinkled in there. Venice Gardens not as much. And when we say older homes, we're not talking like ancient. We're talking for the most part like 80s and newer. But yeah, a little bit more opportunity to get a little bit of a yard. It's an HOA.
It is an HOA, but it's a low HOA, and basically you get just the rules and regulations of an HOA, and I believe they do have a pool, like a community pool.
There's a community pool and a park with it too.
Yeah, so it's not like a new development where you would have, all the amenities. It is an HOA, but it's a low HOA, so it just kind of like to keep the neighborhood looking a certain way. Yeah,
and it's definitely one of the least restrictive HOAs you're going to find in all of Florida for that matter. I mean, it's very, very light. So if you don't like HOAs, Venice Gardens is still something you could probably consider, I think. And it's very quiet. I guess you could say that about pretty much all of Venice. There's some golf courses in the area as well. And really, again, like, if there's not a golf course in any of these areas that we talk about, or a beach or shopping, you're not going to be a very far drive from that. So I wouldn't look at that sort of a thing as being a big driving factor. I'd say maybe the one thing location-wise that you might want to put into consideration is if you want to be closer to a bigger city, then maybe being closer to the north end would put you closer to Sarasota. But outside of that, it's just so easy to get around.
Yeah, and you're only like 10 minutes from the downtown tops.
Yeah.
Maybe like even closer. That's like Venice Gardens is well, depending on where your home would be located, it's a great area to get to the island very, very quickly. I would say 10 minutes top, whichever area you're on, you'd be about 10 minutes tops to the island.
And again, we have a full video driving you around in the description of Venice Gardens. Any of these neighborhoods that we're not sure if we have a dedicated one for the downtown, but if we do, all of these ones that we do have a dedicated video for, we'll put in the description below. So if you want to go really in depth, like, oh, this is the area for me, you can check it out.
Next one up is North Venice, and this is a new neighborhood. We can say it's a lot of new different communities being developed in the north end of Venice.
This area right here that I'm showing on the map.
Yes, and this is a great area if you want to be close to the island but not on the island, and it is a little more on the outskirts of Venice, but you're only 10 minutes, 15 maybe tops to the downtown area.
Yeah, very nice for that. Nice that it's also one of the few areas, let's say in Venice right now, that has got a lot of new construction, new gated communities going in. Almost kind of a light version of Welland Park in a way, it feels like. And I'd say the other big perk to that area that probably has over a lot of the other areas we're covering, puts you right next to 75, which it is a pain, I will say, from a lot of areas until they are making some expansions on some of the roads to make it faster to get to from the other parts of Venice. But at this point in time, it's a pain to get to 75. It just takes a little bit longer than maybe you'd like. So if you're living in this North Venice area, you can hop onto 75 and much more quickly get to, say, to Sarasota, to Fort Myers, wherever you're looking to go north or south. It'll just make that a lot easier and give you quicker access to those cities and all they have to offer.
Yeah, especially if you would like to be in a bigger city but don't like the big city to live in, this is a great area because you can be in Sarasota within probably 25 minutes tops. Yeah, it puts you very close to Sarasota.
The next area that we love, and I'm trying to zoom out here a little because it only gives us the Welcome Center, is the Welland Park area. So this area, a lot of people a hard time on it that ever say it's like Venice. Technically, most of it is Northport. Northport will handle the city utilities, things like that. However, some of the addresses are going to be Venice. A lot of people we know that live there send their kids to high school and schools in Venice because there's a lot of shopping closer on the south end of Venice. So it kind of dips into that area. It is definitely a nice, exciting area, and I'll let you tell them why.
Yes, so the Welland Park area is actually getting their own downtown by the end of the year, and we're so excited because Welland Park is just so close to us, so I'm sure we'll be visiting their downtown a lot. It's a great neighborhood for families. A lot of families do live in the Welland Park area, and there are a lot of different options. They are building some condos and apartments for rent. They are also building a senior assisted living facility.
Independent living.
Yes.
That's the word.
And there is also all the gated communities around. So it's a great area to live in. And you're in Sarasota County with great schools, low crime.
They're going to have their own high school eventually.
Yes.
They have the Atlanta Braves spring training facility. And then one draw to the downtown that's going to be exciting is there's going to be a huge lake that I guess you can canoe on and things like that. And all the shops and restaurants around that. And it seems like they're trying to construct it so you can be very walkable from any neighborhood you're in to be able to walk to that downtown or the Braves area. So that's kind of cool.
Yes, because a lot of Florida, it's not very walkable, believe it or not. I mean, it is the Sunshine State. So having this area that's very walkable for everyone, it's great.
And one other thing I think is really cool about a lot of these gated communities, a lot of them will have like some really nice amenities, resort style pools and dog park within the community, a fitness center. But also on top of that, back to the walkability thing, a lot of them will have like trails and little bridges that go over rivers and stuff like that. So you can walk around and have nice scenic, nature-centric views. That they incorporate a lot of nature into a lot of the communities as well. So just a very cool area that gives you kind of the best of both worlds. Newer construction, somewhat pricier, but not as bad as, say, maybe if you want to go up to like Lakewood Ranch, you know, so something to think about.
It's still more affordable than Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota area. If you're into golfing, Welland Park will have a community. It's called
Golf and Country Club. Enunciate.
Yes, and it's not. It is being developed right now, so there's nothing there right now. But if you're into golfing, that opportunity is coming there as well. The next community we love is actually closer to Sarasota. It's in between Sarasota and Venice. It's Palmer Ranch, and this is a community of different neighborhoods, gated communities, non-gated communities, which is great for families, and you're still in Sarasota County with great schools.
And as you can see on the map, it does sit like more, I'd say, kind of considered Sarasota.
Yes.
But it does still put you close to Venice if you love Venice. But I think for a lot of people, having that option to be so close to Sarasota is pretty appealing because Sarasota does have a lot more to do.
Yes, and you're basically on the outskirts of Sarasota, Osprey area. So a little more quiet than like the actual city of Sarasota, but with great neighborhoods.
And some new construction and older home options as well. So it kind of gives you a couple different options that way.
And you're close to Siesta Key Beach.
Next one is the only one that's a very specific community that we're going to mention, but there's a couple other ones kind of in this area. Another one being Boca Royale, but it's a beach walk. This is a new community that's being built. Very much kind of has somewhat, I'd say, of that Welland Park feel to it. It's a new gated community. Very early in the process at this point. Some beautiful homes. If you like new constructions and you want to be really close to the beach, closer than anywhere else in Welland Park at this point, that's great because you're about a 5 to 6 minute drive to Minnesota Key Beach.
Yes, this community, it's Key West inspired. So the homes are beautiful and you feel like you're, it's like very different from anywhere else really in the area.
Like a resort style.
Yes. And you're very close to the beach. Also, you're close to the south end of Venice. So if you want to be in Venice, want new construction, want to be closer to the beach, Beach Walk, it's a great neighborhood to be in. It is a gated community, and I know a lot of families are moving as well as active older adults.
Lots of amenities in there too, like a lot of the Welland Park communities. There's going to be a dog park in there.
2 restaurants, like a bar and grill type restaurant.
Tennis courts. And then also, like I mentioned before, Boca Royale, as you can see, is just south of that. That also has a lot of amenities. It feels like that's a little bit more geared towards retirees with golf and things like that. And they have an activity coordinator and the whole 9 yards there, so it gives you a lot of things to do, easy way to meet people for that community. I know it is a little bit higher HOA though, so for some people that is a little bit of a turnoff.
But there are other communities in this same area that are HOA but low HOA, so no amenities. And there are some that are a little higher HOA but not as high as, say, Boca Royale or Beach Walk, but the homes are a little bit older.
Yeah, I'd say off the top of the head, some of the ones that have a little bit lower HOAs would be Ventura Village, Rapallo, Gulfview Estates. So those have some lower HOAs. And the other nice thing about all the communities in this area is it puts you kind of in between Venice and Inglewood. Inglewood has some different options that are kind of nice to consider as well and different things to do.
And there are also homes like sprinkled throughout the area that are not on an HOA. So if you don't want to be on an HOA, there is that option too. And then some homes leading up to Minnesota Key as well, but they are going to be a little more expensive.
And if you want to know more about Inglewood and what it's like there, we'll again have a video for that in the description. All these pockets that we've covered in this video that if we have a full in-depth video for, we'll have in the description. As always though, if you are looking to move to the area,
make sure to call, text, or email me. I am a local realtor here. My information will be in the description box below.
She hears some people all the time and we love it. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notifications, questions or comments, leave them in the comments, and live breezy.